Hey guys, what's up? RedExions here and welcome back to this brand new video. And today we are at Circuit de Landsard for round 2 of the Dutch Rotax Max Challenge. So yeah, time for yet another race weekend. We have quite a lot of them this year. And well, it is actually at my home track this time, and so far, the weeks before this, the speed has looked very good here. So yeah, let's see what the weekend brings. Also, you might already be able to tell by the thing I'm wearing, we have a new Kart livery for this weekend, and that is because we have unfortunately left Van Power. Yeah, there were just some disagreements between us and the team, and then we got a better offer in terms of engine rent somewhere else, and yeah, that's just how business goes sometimes. And for this weekend, and for the rest of the season probably, we will be running K-Racing Shop's Esprit livery. Really cool, really cool. But as you can see, it's still our Tony chassis, but we just converted it into an Esprit. And of course, like last time, Rocco the Junior is with us as well for this weekend. So we have a really cozy tent this weekend. So we can go out for the first free practice in about an hour, and before that, let's do some preparations and then let's go to the track. Guys, we're back with Rotax. Welcome back aboard our own kart at Circuit de Landsard for round 2 of the Dutch Rotax Max Challenge. This track, absolutely insane. It is my home track, but in terms of physicality and difficulty, this track really is one of the hardest tracks in Europe in my opinion. It's super hard in terms of physicality, and in terms of technical parts it's insane. You know what else would be insane? A sub to the channel and a like to this video if you end up liking this video. Anyways, now before we go on with the rest of the video, let's take you on a hot lap of this insane track. Here we come across the start-finish line, going into turn 1, a very fast right-hander for which you barely even brake, getting straight on the power using all of the curb on exit, then getting up to about 110 km an hour before turn 2, a square hairpin which is a really awkward corner but a good overtaking spot, then into turn 3, which is again another really good overtaking spot in which you want to keep the kart in the middle of the track on exit because you want to keep it to the right hand side as much as possible for the left hand hairpin, which then flows into an almost flat out left-hander, which is one of my favorite corners out of the entire calendar, then into a left-right chicane which flows into another right-hander 90 degrees, which flows to another right-hander 90 degrees, which flows into a left-hander 90 degrees, left-hander 90 degrees, right-hander 90 degrees, right-hander 90 degrees, a little bit of a less sharp right-hander followed into a little bit less sharp left-hander, and that's a lap. You can really see this track crazy, just corner after corner after corner after corner. You really have no rest at this insane track, and you also might have noticed that overtaking around this track is really difficult. The only parts where you can pass is turn 2, 3 and 4, and if you have balls, well, another corner which I will show you in a little bit because it's a little bit further back, but that only works when there's some crazy stuff going on in the track. And also in terms of setup, this track is really difficult. By the way, the corner in which you can overtake is the left-hander coming up now. If it's really crazy out there on track and the grip is low and there's lots of groups forming, you can sneak it up the inside there. But yeah, like I said, this track in terms of setup, it's difficult. I have been quite fast here historically speaking because, well, setup is always the thing that we get here really correctly. And if you are struggling a little bit with setup and have some questions about karting in general, consider joining our Discord server. We have a lot of members from all over the world who are more than willing to help you with any question you have. Anyways, a little bit further up the day, we go into a different session, we switch to our different engine, and you can see here that we are following Ralph, but this time we have a little bit of trouble with our speed. And as you can see there, Ralph is ahead of us, but he's a little bit quicker. He's pulling away in some of the corners. You can really see where we are losing a little bit of time. You can see that his kart picks up nicely. In this corner it's not really that big of a difference. Then into the hairpin you can see that he really pulls away there because we don't really get that smooth of an exit. You can saw the kart bop a little bit there. Then we take a little bit too much curb on the exit there, which ruins our confidence into this whole technical bit. This track, it's almost too fast to commentate on because this entire second half of the track is just corner after corner after corner. Once I've finished talking about the last corner, I'm already 3 corners further up the road. So it's really challenging to keep commentating about this. And as you can see there, guys, we are also now running a different engine. We are now powered by JVD Power, which is another really experienced engine builder from the Netherlands who has won many championships. I'd consider following him on Instagram because he has some really cool content. The Instagram is on screen right now. You do him a massive favor, you do me a massive favor, because this guy, he's an awesome guy, he deserves the support from you guys. Anyways, you can see there that Ralph is pulling away a little bit. We are definitely on the slow side now, which is not the best. You can also see that we are struggling a little bit with oversteer. The kart is sliding at the back end, so we really had some work to do in terms of setup, which luckily we were able to do after this session. Just some simple things, but I'll get to that later. Alright guys, that's the first half of the day done, and we're struggling a little bit. Yeah, I'm struggling a bit with the back end. I feel like I have not enough grip on corner entry and then too much in the middle, so that's a bit strange. So we definitely need to work on that. We did try the new engine from the new engine supplier, and well, it's an absolute beast, so that's good. But yeah, now we're going for the registration, and after that we have 2 more sessions, so let's see how those go. Yeah, man. Alright guys, welcome to the second part of the day. Unfortunately our GoPro bugged out a little bit there, so I didn't have sound, so you can enjoy these wonderful Renault V10 sounds in the background. Anyways, in terms of setup, you can see that at the front we went a little bit less wide on track width. I felt like the kart was a little bit sliding on entry and then having too much grip in the middle of the corner at the back. So what you can do to do that is make the front end a little bit less wide, because then it will have less of an aggressive turn in and will have more grip at the front in the middle of the corner. So setup is always really important, of course, and if you want to do setup you need additional parts, but luckily K-Racing has another discount code for you, OTK15, which gives you 15% discount on all OTK related parts. The full details will be in the description, but go check it out if you want to save 15% on all your OTK parts. Anyways, I felt like the setup change made a little bit of a difference. Of course, you don't really need additional parts for something like this, because the rings which you use to increase or decrease the track width are included with the chassis, of course. Then, going on to the next session, actually we had a little bit of a problem, because as you see here, the mount that holds our radiator in place decided to take a little bit of a vacation, and we now had a loose radiator, which is not ideal, of course. Because if it's like this, then the engine doesn't cool properly, and if the engine doesn't cool properly it might overheat, and if it overheats you can break it. So unfortunately the last session of the day ended up for us there, and we again had a little bit less mileage than the rest of the drivers had for the Saturday. Beugeltje gebroken. Alright guys. Did you bin it in the mud?
I been in the mud.
Alright guys, take 2. That was the day. Jongen, hij stopt nou met lachen. Yeah, a bit strange. The engine is good, but for some reason we went slower every session, and in the last one then the radiator, I don't know what's called, the thing broke on the radiator, so the radiator got loose. Yeah, not nice. Just finished cleaning up the kart, just doing a track walk now with Ralphie Dalphie. Ralphie Dalphie, hello.
Ja man, en met Ralphie Dalphie.
Yeah guys, here in Eindhoven of course we always have this nice little beach here. Back there there's guys on jet skis doing tricks. Now we're going to find a little fry restaurant in the neighborhood here, and then order some food, and then have some nice fries. Ooh, time for food. Alright, so I was just in a village nearby, and I got an NL alert message saying that there's a huge fire in the city of Eindhoven, which is near here. And yeah, it's a really big fire. All the firefighters from the village were also going to the city, so big fire. But now, time to have some nice food. Je hebt oorlog mee friet.
Ik heb vandaag weer gevoeld, ik zweer het je.
Alrighty boys, food was nice. Time to go home now. Looking back on the day. Yeah, looking back on the day was a bit strange. I don't know why we went slower every session. It was strange and a little bit unfortunate about the radiator bracket breaking in the end. But yeah, let's just see. Going home now, going to sleep, and then see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Alrighty guys, good morning. Yeah, I've actually secretly already completed the warm-up today, and we found a little bit of the problem from yesterday. Yeah, we found just something in the setup that really made a big difference, so that's something we can work on now. Almost time to go into qualifying, and after that we'll see how the day goes. He binned it in the mud.
I been in the mud.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah. Ja, klaar. Godverdomme, man. Alright then, another thing to add to failures that I've never had before. One of the main jets from the carburetor, you know, the, I don't know what you call it, it broke, so the entire jet came off, and then the engine got way too much fuel, and then of course it bogs, and then it won't start anymore, so yeah. So that means we'll be starting here in last, and this track is like almost impossible to overtake us, so yeah, we have some work to do now. But yeah, strange. Just, I don't know, unlucky I guess. Really weird, I don't know. Guys, welcome to the pre-final. Like I said, overtaking at Circuit de Landsard is very difficult, but actually, in the first lap, when there's chaos out on track, overtaking here is ridiculously easy, which I will show to you right here. 5 red lights and away we go, and we have gained 2 positions before we even made the start. Then we go around the outside of the other guy, so we already gained 3 positions, just 25 more to go. Then here, keeping the inside, we gain 1 position, 2 position, a bit of chaos ahead of us, 3 positions. Then chaos on the left hand side there, which causes another position gain for us. We're already up into P21, then we go up the inside here also, we now up into P20, we already overtook 9 guys. Then here, someone spins, we go up the inside, 2 more positions, P18, 11 drivers, boom, done just like that. Did I say 11? I meant 12, I meant 13. We're already almost overtook half of the field after lap 1. Like I said, this track in lap 1, absolute chaos. We gained 13 positions in half a lap, which is insane, let's put it like that. So yeah, we already had half of the work of this race done before lap 1 was even done. Here you can see that the 354 is having a little bit of trouble trying to pass the guy ahead of him, which holds us both up a little bit. Then here you can see that we get a really good exit because of our new strong engine, but the 354 saw that there and he tried to overtake, so he makes us go around the outside. We do a switchback in which we try to pull alongside, but he still does some defending there, so we cannot really go up the inside there. Let's see, maybe he won't defend into the next corner, and no he won't, so we go up the inside here, but because we take such a tight line, our exit gets completely compromised and we lose 1, 2 and 3 positions. That's the thing about karting. Once you are not the guy who is eating the other guys, you will get eaten yourself, and that's what happened here. And do you guys remember about the secret overtaking spot I told you? Well, we use it right here. As you can see, it's really tight. It's only that much of a margin to the tire wall and that much of a margin to the guy on the right there. But if you go for it, use full balls there and go for it, full commitment, it does work, like I just showed you there. Your chassis doesn't like it because you take a huge amount of curb, but hey, it's not a position game for us there. There you can see that there's some ding-dong battling going on ahead of us between the 338 and the 323. But you can see that the 323 gets a little bit of a poor exit, so the 338 decides to go up the inside there. And once there's a person overtaking ahead of you, always drive behind the person doing the overtaking, because most of the time it's a free position. You saw what happened to us a lap before in the corner we're going into now. I was on the outside, there were 3 people on the inside, and the 2 guys behind the guy making the overtaking move didn't really have to do anything. All they had to do was just follow him. One thing, however, that we did get was a 5-second penalty, and you might be curious for what we got that, and that is because karting has a system in which you can get a front fairing penalty, and the front fairing is the front bumper. If you push someone out on track intentionally, of course, you deserve to get a penalty for that. And the bumper will actually move out of the correct position. So if you come in, the stewards will see that you have pushed someone by the bumper being out of position. But you can also get it without intentionally pushing someone, which is what we got in the first lap. In the chaos, we smashed into the guy ahead of us. He didn't go off, but we still got the penalty. And unfortunately, that's just the way karting is. I think it's a stupid rule. It does more harm than good, but hey, that's the rules we gotta live by. Anyways, the 338 there gets a very poor exit, and we actually decide to launch it up the inside there. So we are now up into P15. So we overtook about half the field in lap 6, but because of that chaos in the first lap, the gaps between all of the groups of drivers are really big. But like I said, the pace here, it has been really good over the history of our career. And this weekend too, the pace was still quite good. So I knew we had pace to catch up to the guys ahead of us, but these races are just not really long enough for that to be possible. Like, it's lap 6, we only have 7 laps, and the gap ahead of us was about 3 or 4 seconds, so we would have to gain on them by several tenths a lap, which is unfortunately not possible. Here you can see I really tried my best. The gap has really closed. We are really quick in this race, but unfortunately it's just a little bit too far away. I reckon if this race was 2, maybe 3 laps longer, we could have definitely attacked the first couple of karts in the group and gained some more positions. But unfortunately, we are already on the last lap of this race, which means that, well, of course, this gap is way too big to be able to do anything. And yeah, we're already in the last sector of the last lap. We really can't do anything. The only thing we can do now is pray that the gap behind us is big enough that the 5-second penalty of our front fairing will not affect the results too much. But unfortunately, as you can see in the results here, yeah, we lost another couple of positions due to that front bumper. We lost 4 positions, which is a little bit unfortunate, but hey, at least we went from P29 to P18, P14 on track actually, so I overtook 15 cars out on track, which is really good. And you can see that the pace is also really good. We did a 44.4, the fastest guy did a 44.1, so yeah, plenty of work to do for the final. Alrighty guys, that was the pre-final. Yeah, speed was good. Unfortunately, we had a front fairing penalty. We overtook 15 people. So yeah, the race was pretty good, but unfortunately we got that penalty and a little bit of understeer because of the bumper, which was scraping on the floor. So yeah, that's of course removed some pressure from the front tires. But yeah, apart from that, I think we have some solid speed. We're going to now take a huge gamble and switch to the standard wheels because I feel like we missed some grip at the back end. So yeah, let's see what that does. It's actually really hot out here, so I'm going to enjoy this popsicle. Alright guys, time for the final. Like with the pre-final, I definitely expected some chaos to unfold here in the first lap. So yeah, we just have to wait and see. 5 red lights and away we go. We now go into turn 1. Nothing unusual has happened yet, but there you can see a kart flipping. And we gained 10 positions because of that. Because the entire left-hand side of the grid got completely slowed down by the kart flipping. Which is understandable, of course. You don't want to run into a flipping kart. Luckily, he didn't completely flip over. So luckily the driver was unarmed there and he could actually finish the race. But yeah, now we find ourselves in P8, which is about where we stand in terms of pace. But that's always the case with me. My raw pace isn't the best, but once the field gets bunched up and we are in a group, that's where I'm at my strongest. I can attack, especially at this track. So all we had to do now was not lose positions to anyone behind us, keep our eyes open and attack, attack, attack. Now, when you're starting a little bit further down the field like we were in the pre-final, it's a little bit easier to mount an attack. These guys are a lot faster, which we are racing with now. So mounting an attack is a little bit less easy than what it was in the previous race. As you can see here, we don't really gain as much on exit as we did in the previous race. We're now on lap 3. We're still behind the 391. We could not really mount an attack, but behind us there was a driver who was insanely quick. And he was actually behind us here. He tried to go for a move just then, but luckily he was just a little bit too far away. Then coming out of this corner here, I decided to have a little bit of a peek over my shoulder to see where he was. He was a little bit too far away, so he couldn't really mount and move here, but...
And suddenly, boom, everything goes away, nothing. You end up with nothing. The main thing is to be yourself, because it's basically learning about yourself. Even if you try to be perfect, nobody's perfect. So of course I try to learn from every mistake I make, from every wrong decision I make, to not allow it to happen again.
Yeah guys, to be honest, that one was a tough pill to swallow. So far in the Dutch Championship we have not been lucky. And when I was editing this video I kind of thought of that quote by Senna, suddenly boom, you end up with nothing. Racing can really be like that sometimes and yeah, unfortunate. Also a part that came to my mind was learning from every mistake that he made. That's just super important. That's some advice I want to give to you guys. Just learn from every mistake you made. And you might think, well Red, why is that important for you? Because you got taken out, right? Yeah, that is true. But you always got to look at things as if you could have done something about it. And if I'm really critical about the situation, I knew the fast driver behind us, that he was a reckless overtake and that he would go for a gap as soon as he saw one. Even though I thought the gap was a little bit too big, I could have predicted that he would have gone for it and just let him through. And you might think, why would I want to let him through? Well, because then we would not have DNF'd. My mechanic thought this too. My mechanic is a really smart guy. He's an ex-driver as well, and he actually saw it coming. He was actually standing by the track doing this, like swap positions with the guy behind you. And I didn't because, well, at the time I thought, well, I'm a racing driver. I want to keep my position, of course. Sometimes it is better to be calculated. Sometimes it's better to be aggressive. Sometimes it's the best option to give everything you have. Sometimes it's the best option to hold everything you have. That is the difference between winning and losing. Alright guys, that's it for the weekend. We are back at my dad's business. We just cleared everything up and yeah, unlucky. Yeah, don't really have that much more to say. We were just unlucky. I think we definitely showed that we had some speed and that we had some good starts again. The starts are definitely not a problem this year, but it's just, yeah, need a little bit of luck on my side. Damn it. Anyways guys, with that also comes the end to this video. Now if you enjoyed that, then please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons. You know you make me really happy when you do that. Now last race we had in Rotax was quite a lot better. It was the B&O Karting Series Round 1. Go check it out, it's on screen right here. This video however is done and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.